this video, I sit down with the people that created Project V. Yes, the information hub of Project V. Some of you may know it by name, some of you may not. But hey, who knows? That's why we're going to sit down with them. We're going to figure out what they are and who they are, and even talk a little bit about Angelic and what they had to say about Project V in the whole. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I have something special to talk about at the end of this video. If you guys stick around, please leave a comment and like and subscribe. Okay, see y'all later.
The blacklist on Project V. Nobody go after them. If anybody is going after you and you have a blacklist with us, please come up to us and contact us so we can help sort it out. Because we don't want people attacking people over the blacklist. It's just there to inform someone of what they did, and if they want to have an input on it, come tell us. And if you have anything to add on any blacklists, you can bring it up to us. We may not 100% update it, depending on what the evidence is, if it's just repeating stuff, or if it's like old stuff that's already been dealt with.
First off, I do have to thank you guys for coming here so late at night for at least one of you.
Yeah, of course, man.
In the case of Angelic, okay, so you guys watched the video on Angelic, correct?
Yeah.
Good.
I looked at it twice, so I made sure I got my shit right.
Gotcha. And what did you truly feel after watching that video?
So, from me personally, I felt, well, obviously attacked in a sense, right? But you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's not my place to go, hey, you can't say that.
So after feeling hurt, what specifically really like got you to want to chat with me today?
Well, so my first thought was to just stay quiet because drama is drama. It will blow over eventually. Then again, the multiple videos that Angelic made themselves got me thinking, why don't I just show up at least once? Give my take on it for just anyone willing to listen. You gotta put in... am I talking about the right video?
So personally, what exactly do you guys want to say to Angelic, as she might be watching this right now?
Hi, how are you?
Do you want to explain that
this little guy doesn't have a god complex?
Do you want to explain to them that you are not specifically the one that's going after them anymore?
So we've noted in multiple of our servers, including the Angelic Summit, where all the proof of Angelic's wrongdoings is, and we've made an announcement, Alex did, saying and telling people to please stop going after Angelic because we don't want to deal with them anymore. I was very involved with the whole Angelic situation because I wanted to get it over and done with. Because I gave Angelic a few opportunities to better themselves and possibly joining Project V at some point. But they love to throw away their chances, and they did.
Now, how open are you guys to newcomers to Project V? Like, just, you know, random people out there that want to maybe figure out who you are and also maybe even join you in the future?
I'd say we're quite open to almost anyone, as long as you have a clean track record and you're not a fucking dick to us. If we have mutual respect with each other, there shouldn't be any problems of you, like a group getting into Project V.
Now, is there anything else about the specific video that we're here about today that you guys want to say? Like anything at all, really?
I feel hurt by certain things said in the video, of course. I have the right to, you know, be upset.
You very much do.
But yeah, I'm not mad at anyone, and I refuse to hold a grudge against anyone in the video. I just want everything to get over and done with, said and done, and we can move on with everyone's lives.
Okay.
Are you ever gonna speak?
I mean, you can speak.
You can speak.
There's nothing stopping you from speaking.
I just want to say, every single time someone has brought up a strawberry pie having a god complex, I find it just ridiculous, because every single time he has said it in a very, very jokingly manner, in a very horrible Donald Trump impressionist voice, which makes it obvious it's sarcasm, and people just take it too seriously, which makes me think whoever takes that seriously needs to go take a break. Go frolic in the grass. Go touch some snow. Go
See,
take a dip in a pool.
there's a thing about this community that I maybe have ignored for a little bit too long. And it is that the community can be sensitive at times. And I came from Star Wars, which is a very, rough-ish community. But I just want to make the community better in the ways that I can. But if these things keep coming up over, simple little jokes, it's gonna cause issues, and already has. With Angelic as the prime example.
What's a specific incident that made you finally say, "All right, I'm starting the info hub," as in, your guys' information hub.
Yeah.
And how fast did that blow up for you guys?
Do you want to take this one?
Starlight?
Okay, so I'll explain something and then it will go on to them. Basically, Project V started as a not so good group to kind of bend information, etc. But what changed my perception of what I was gonna do was Alex and my other co-owner. But someone, I'm naming names here because I just don't really, it's public information. Dr. Starline was when I met him, he was very excited to join what Project V was going to be, until he started getting very egotistical and started planning a lot of things that wouldn't be very good for the community. Alex helped me realize that I'm on the wrong side of just everything that's happening. And I got rid of Starline and their partner. After that, Starline and their partner started spreading lies about Project V, especially to the Flora Hellscape, wasn't it? Especially the Flora Hellscape, where they actually made an announcement in their Discord server to stay away from us. So obviously, we showed up, we got everything situated, and everything was taken down. Because we don't want to be the bad guys. We're not here to police anything. We're just here to inform, and we're here to make sure everything goes good for everyone.
And do you have anything to say about this?
No, the thing with Dr. Starline started off as a totally normal guy. Average Hazbin Hotel Vox enjoyer. Just a slight god complex, as most Vox enjoyers do have. And then he just kind of got a little too angsty towards another group that me and co-owner of Project V started, called Vox. I can't even remember the name right now.
Was it not V Tech Industries or something?
Vox Industries, something like that.
Vox Tech Industries.
Me and my friend, we put all of our shit into it. We did stuff he didn't ask us to do, but it'd be something that he wanted done, make a TikTok page, make a Discord server. And then he just kind of flipped on us. He kept continuously kicking random people from the group, and I just kind of was getting a little sus vibe from that. And then Project V came into play. He started doing more stuff. I joined into Trixtech's group to, look at the avatar updates. Cool avatars. Might want to buy one in the future. And then I just had a gander, since I was getting a little sus, since he kept trying to say he was going to buy us avatars, share avatars to us, which was a bit weird, kind of ripping-ish. I looked up to see what he's messaged in the server. Found out he was lying about his age there. So that's where the first bigger thing with Project V started, was with him lying about his age to us, since he originally said he was 17. In Trixtech's server, he said he was 19. And then more came out from the ages between 13 to 23. And that's just where it was giving a bad thing. So gave him a talk, told him he had 24 hours to pick up his shit in Project V or he'd be out. And told him to just, stop doing things he shouldn't be doing that aren't for his age group, which he's 15, not 17 or any other age that he says he is. And I very much doubt he has stopped, but I gave both him and his partner a really stern talking, as you would to a person misbehaving, doing stuff that they're not supposed to. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So now I understand if the number is hard to come by, but how many right now? How many people are currently sitting on your blacklist? And what's the most common reason on why they're there?
There is only 7, but that is mostly because we haven't been able to really do much due to the backlash of people
Angelic.
misinformation about stuff.
Understandable.
And we're more so helping on VRchat with like people's groups and stuff, or just isn't really stuff that needs a blacklist, just kind of helping with people's drama, helping them sort it all out.
We
Yeah,
don't
I
want
gotcha.
to. We don't want to involve any unnecessary blacklists.
Yeah, that is understandable. So, for a blacklist, what kind of hardcore proof do you absolutely require before you officially add a name to the list for a blacklist?
With doxing and ripping especially, there is obviously you're going to see the avatars that are ripped. You're going to see possibly screenshots of ripped files. There's witness, like people being handed avatars. There with doxing, there's obviously screenshots of literal locations, which is just kind of a like oh, but yeah. In the sense of pedophilia, we need definite proof of awareness of age, NSFW content, if any, and flirting.
Blurred, if
Blurred
any
NSFW content.
NSFW blurred.
Got it. All right. Have you ever dealt with a situation where someone faked evidence and it was so good that you did add it to your blacklist at some point?
Bees art, just straight up Bees art. They faked their ID, zoomed in very hard on that shit. You could barely tell. A telling tell with that was that they had a police report and it was attached to a doc that someone made. Saw that. I did a little look through it, and it showed that they were in fact not an adult, but still technically pedophilic actions due to the other person being under the age of consent in both of their states, since they both had the same state age of consent.
Angelic was pretty good at it for a little. Tricked us for a bit.
Yeah, with them saying they're deleting avatars and then just whip
No.
out another ripped avatar. They're the wazoo. Like when
Good.
they first brought that when I first was brought it up to me, I went and informed one of our friends who was friends with them. They brought them into a lobby with us. Didn't know it at the time, but they were in fact wearing a ripped avatar, which was a
Oh shoot, my bad.
female version of a Vox, and they said that they were done ripping, that they just wanted help seeing if they could get Trickster to let them back and have keys. I specifically said, we will see what we can do, but there is no promises that we can get Trickster to unblacklist them, and which they mentioned that in your video. I think they said that we 100% promised them. I'm not 100% saying that they said that, but from what I remember, we said we might partner with them, no promises. If their stuff ends up being true, that we said we cannot partner with them. I have a video of us telling them that we just are blacklisting them. No hard feelings. We just don't want to work with you. We won't be partnering with you in the future. Yada yada.
Leave your disgrace.
So this is an interesting one. This one is a community asked one. Is the blacklist a permanent life sentence, or can they actually appeal the process if someone proves they've changed?
So blacklists are by no means permanent. If you have evidence that someone in the blacklist or you are that person in the blacklist, and if you have evidence of innocence, my DMs are always open to anyone if they wish to send proof. And if it is substantial and it is proven correct, the blacklist will be lifted.
Also depends on the extent of what you did to get
That's true.
blacklisted. Like, for example, pedophilia or like NSFW actions toward a minor. Probably not going to lift a blacklist on someone like that. If
It
it's more
depends
so
the
say like
severity.
ripping or harassment, if you prove that you're done harassing or you've 100% done ripping and you won't rip in the future, then yeah, we'll probably talk to you, keep an eye on you to make sure you're not doing that anymore, and lift the blacklist. But with our blacklist, we put them in there. We try not to spread them around, but if it's like super severe and like if someone asks us about it, yes, we'll tell them. Like most of the times with Angelic, someone asked us about it, we inform them. We shared the server so they could get the proof and have their own opinion on that. We're not gonna 100% force someone to stop being friends, but unless it's like a moderator of ours, we advise them to like not be like 100% buddy buddy with them, just so people won't get the wrong image and assume someone's supporting someone that had horrible actions or something like that.
This one is more for you, good sir.
Mhm.
When it comes to catching a ripper, do you usually see coordinated groups running organized Discord servers, or do you mostly see solo players?
So, from what I've personally seen, is mainly just solo players. But there is a group that I am currently in where I think it's called Laugh Time Productions, which, as far as I've seen, hosts a lot of ripped avatars, but I can't prove anything because there are some avatar creators that have given permission. So if I go out on a limb and say this entire thing that's happening here is just full on ripping, it could be bad for me.
Gotcha.
I think you forgot to swamp the camera view.
You know, I just noticed that. Yeah. It's okay. We'll run with it. One is the absolute worst or most ridiculous excuse a ripper has given you after getting caught red-handed.
She uploaded it to my account. I don't know.
So Angelic and not sure if they're friends anymore, but her friend or not friend, Mommy Freya. I saw Angelic put on RD's Verosica, which I'm pretty sure is an 18 plus avatar. I'm not 100% sure, since I do think it has NSFW assets on it. I'm like, yeah, hey, where'd you get it? Do you have the link for it or something like that? And she's like, oh, Mommy Freya uploaded it to my account for me since I don't know how to do that stuff. I'm like, okay, but Freya also has it. Did you both pay for it? And I don't exactly remember what they said. I think they just looked at Freya and just said that they got it, which RD's avatars, I'm pretty sure, alone for the Verosica is like 60 to 80 USD. So it'd be kind of ridiculous if one person bought it for two people. So I kind of got the under assumption that they just uploaded it twice to both accounts.
Okay. So this is pretty self-explanatory, of course. But how do you guys track players who constantly change their usernames and use alt accounts to dodge the blacklist?
So for usernames, I personally keep a DM to myself of links to blacklists because no matter what, the link will still go to the same person's account. With alt accounts, I kind of just hope that one of my friends will inform me, which multiple times they have informed if they saw someone who was on the blacklist changing into an alt account. It's pretty obvious to tell by someone's voice if you have really good.
We do rely on, in that situation of all accounts, we do rely on word of mouth, but that's something we have to start eventually, you know, leaning off of, because we can't do that forever.
Okay. So with EAC, or better known as the Easy Anti-Cheat, being around for a while now, have you guys seen a drop in malicious clients or just bad actors or even simply rippers in general?
There's not been a very, how do I say, there's not been a dent in it. And I get, you know, VRchat's trying to, you know, do good for their platform. It's just, you need to go hands-on with something like this. And I hate how, you know, we have to do it for them sometimes. Because, you know, we should be laid back, playing, hanging out with our friends, right? But instead, we're having to do VRchat's job.
Very true. You don't want to say anything on that?
Am I doing good? Am I doing good, Alex?
Yeah,
Do you have anything to say?
No, I don't have
Do you have anything to say? That okay.
Cool. All right. All right. Do you guys think that avatar creators or world builders are doing enough to protect their assets, or do you guys think it's impossible, like a truly impossible battle per se, without community hubs like yours?
See, now I say that in the long run, what I want to see is no community hubs at all. Because people who make their assets and make their world shouldn't have to get them ripped away from them. Because they made them themselves, and they should be able to decide to give out what. But when, certain avatar creators make it their entire thing that they do not care if their avatars get ripped, or they do not care if they rip avatars and then those avatars get ripped, and then it becomes an entire thing that we have to go through to get back to the original creator, it gets to a point of it's a uphill battle for the information hubs and the avatar creators themselves. And that's why I think normalizing working with information hubs is the best way to go to, in a sense, eradicate rippers, doxers, and information hubs, because we shouldn't need them in the first place. But we have them, and in the end, it is a productive thing to have in the certain state of VRchat right now.
And in a sense, for if people don't want their avatars getting ripped, and if their community has the funds or already has it, and if you can, if you can figure out how to, just move it on to Dextro, since from what I've seen, it's less ripping. It's just more so you have to be more worried about someone sharing keys. And I think as Trickster does, just change your keys every once in a while and update your customers on who has purchased it, that you change the keys, just go and put the new key, and just kind of have to hope that nobody shares the keys, which is better than you just share it, someone sends the files out, and that person sends the files out, and it's just a never-ending cycle of someone sharing files.
Okay. Now, running a hub like yours, the information hub that you guys do, running a hub that exposes toxic people, or in other cases, PDF files. There you go. That kind of puts a massive target on your guys' back. How often does your server or staff get targeted by crashers or bot raids, or even people that you guys have brought to light?
We've never had an accident of people coming at us. It's more of just Angelic and possibly our staff getting a little out of control, because being part of Project V kind of sets you, in a sense, high in the community of we want you to protect this. It doesn't mean you own it. And that's something a few of our staff members failed to notice, and that's why they were excluded.
Understandable. Have you or your team ever been doxxed or severely threatened by people you've blacklisted?
We have had one incident, but that was before it was blacklisting. This had nothing to do with Project V. It had to do with a more so personal situation with someone else, which someone took way out of hand when they weren't necessarily really involved in said situation. Other than that, from my knowledge, nobody has been threatened or has been doxxed.
I've been personally doxxed 3 times, but that is still, as I said again, outside, as Alex said, outside of Project V. But that's why I take on doxing situations. That's why I prioritize it, because I've been through the entire ring of doxing, and I want to help people that are getting either threatened or have been. And I want to get that information gone for them.
Okay. Now, what is the most insane retaliation attempt you've witnessed because someone was mad that they got added to the hub? In other words, Project V's hub.
Angelic has the largest scale and still currently running retaliation run, as far as we know, which were the videos, which includes your video that you had interviewing. They made 2 videos on just a bunch of stuff about the drama, and Project V was a large point. But the retaliation isn't working in the way I think she hopes it was going to, because we are a information hub. We do not particularly, you know, prioritize our image. We're here to share the truth and the information that people need to know to stay safe on VRchat. I don't care about my image or anything. As long as I can keep helping people, that's all I really care about. Do you have anything to say, Alex?
Does the drama ever burn you guys out? And what keeps you guys managing the hub when the community gets truly chaotic?
So, I will admit I've burned myself out once, and that's when Alex took over the Project V for a short amount of time while I went and kind of blew my steam off. How we deal with the community, especially when it gets kind of rowdy, is we don't go public as much as we would, because if there's an angry public, we really can't do much against them, because we are for the public, we're for the people. We don't go against them. Everything, like all the blacklists, all the information we have is public information, as safe for work, obviously, because we can't have anything like, you know what I mean?
So, in your guys' mindset, what is the, or like in your guys' idea of it, what is the biggest loophole in VRchat's current report system that bad actors are still using and abusing right now? In other words, rippers, pedophiles, or yeah, I'll buzz the word out.
I wouldn't say there's many loopholes. I would say it's genuinely just VRchat moderation not doing their job at all. Because the only things I've seen get responded to is mass reports. And where's the, there should be like a pedophilia entire sector. There should be doxing, ripping. VRchat should be taking care of this. And as I said, this shouldn't be our job, but we're taking it up as our job because we don't have to, but we want to, because VRchat is our community. Hazbin is our community. I'm not gonna let it, kind of rot away, if you know what I mean.
I do. Which brings me to my next question, unironically.
All right.
Be honest with yourself. Do you feel like VRchat's official trust and safety team does enough? Or does the community have to step up and moderate itself a lot?
Me and Alex and Project V as a whole is a prime example of the absolute lack of Project V moderation, of VRchat moderation. There is nothing, and I mean practically everyone can get away with at least something. There is slurs being thrown out just on a whim. There are doxers, there are pedophiles, there are rippers running rampant because VRchat is doing nothing, and that we as a community have to step up and actually do something. It disappoints me to know that a game that I've adored for almost 2 years now is just horrible at, moderation. And it's the same with, let's say, Roblox currently. Their moderation is failing them. VRchat has had practically no moderation for the past 2.5 years, and even longer than. It just frustrates me.
If you could force a VRchat developer right now to add exactly one feature to help deal with rippers and toxic players and, well, PDF files, what would it be?
I'll have to think about this one. What do you think?
For the report system with the Take It Down app to actually work, since that is implemented there for people to input like PDF files, doxer, reverse PDF files, but last time I tried to attempt to use it, didn't get anything back, and they just I very much doubt that they actually look into the people or keep an eye on said person, look into history of said person or anything.
I agree. I wish there was a manual thing. I wish there was an entire team dedicated to looking at these things. And if there already is, I wish they'd start doing their job.
That's understandable. And now we come to the last one. What advice would you give a brand new player to this game to stay away from bad actors in the crowd that plague VRchat?
Just stop playing. Especially right now. VRchat, in my opinion, is not safe for the TOS age, especially of how old is it? 12, 13?
13, and if you're going to stay on VRchat, go into a community of your age group. If you're in the Hazbin community and you're under 16, which is what the show's rating is in most countries, I'd say steer away from the community. Yes, I understand if you like the show, but anybody on VRchat is gonna assume if you're in Hazbin, you're probably above the age of 16, and people just go rampant and do things that they probably should not be doing, like random adults simping over people for being in a Vox avatar or something when they're 16, 17, and this person simping is like
20
23,
odds.
and it's just ridiculous that people don't check first. Like, I get it, you're in a more so adult steered community, but it's still important to
The
check
immaturity in VR
and
chat
yeah,
disgusts me currently.
and like to make sure said person is comfortable with it before you just go in and assume that, hey, I'm gonna push my thoughts onto you and
Hmm.
I'm gonna put you as an image of a character that does not even exist in real life.
All right. Now, as we bring this to a close, do you guys have anything else to say to the audience that is watching at home right now?
We aren't here to scare anyone or anything bad. If you see one of us, say hi. I don't know. We're not gonna fucking, we're gonna gnaw. We're not gonna gnaw you, bruh. Something fell.
And I'd also like to mention anybody mentioned in this video that has a blacklist on Project V, nobody go after them. If anybody is going after you and you have a blacklist with us, please come up to us and contact us so we can help sort it out. Because we don't want people attacking people over the blacklist. It's just there to inform someone of what they did, and if they want to have an input on it, come tell us. And if you have anything to add on any blacklists, you can bring it up to us. We may not 100% update it, depending on what the evidence is, if it's just repeating stuff, or if it's like old stuff that's already been dealt with.
All right.
We aren't pieces of shit.
Okay.
We're very friendly.
Thank you guys so much for watching the full video. Now, just so you guys know, there is a new channel coming out. Boom. Yes. New channel for this kind of content. So my original content is not going to be something that is on this channel. This channel will be fun, happy, cute, like avatar videos, voice acting videos, all that good stuff. The other videos like this one, which are investigations and sit-down conversations and just having a good time chat, like these videos, will be on a new channel right here. Yeah, MobX Files. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment who I should interview next. Give me some good ideas.